As a healthcare practitioner for over 30 years, I do this thing where I feel like I have to do it all myself and I have to do everything right. Is that something you ever do? There's this there's this judgment I have about myself. If Certainly if I get sick, but if I do something wrong or it's like I have to do it all myself. And I have to hide, like pretend that whatever it is that's gone wrong has gone wrong. There's this whole image thing, this perfectionism, have to be able to do it all right and have to be able to do it all myself. Are there any healers and coaches out there who feel the same way? I think that this is probably true for so many of us, if not perhaps all of us. This need to do it all alone. And that is so difficult. Feeling like if there's some big thing going on or something that I'd have to do and I don't know how or whatever, that I need to be able to do it all myself. And that is so lonely and isolating and hard. And even though I know that I am doing it myself, it's self-imposed, I get into this thing, I get stuck. Now, I have been a healthcare provider working on energetic and physical healing for 3 decades, and I still get myself in these places where I am stuck. For you, as healers and coaches, do you find yourself doing the same thing? We're in this profession of helping other people, and yet I was like, I get there myself. And I just did this yesterday. It was a perfect opportunity to watch myself because I was doing it and observing myself doing it at the same time. I am learning how to do master classes. And Alexis Caldecott, the person who's helping me learn how to do master classes, did this fabulous session with me planning out my master class. And it was awesome. And then she said, now let's schedule it and put it in the calendar. It's like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm not ready. And I kind of freaked out. I was like, and I backed up. It's like, whoa. And I changed the schedule a little bit. That's all determined by me. But this is really interesting because I was watching myself as I was doing it. And I felt so alone, so isolated. Now, really, I know that I can reach out and get help to Alexis if necessary, to other people if necessary. But I was observing myself, watching myself do this. And I knew ultimately that I was going to use this as a story to be able to tell, to illustrate things that I'm talking about. Because in my masterclass, what I'm going to do is help people look at these things. When I'm in these places in my head, when I get stuck, when I feel alone, when I feel isolated, when I don't know how, what do I do? What are the things that happen? What are the patterns that I got into, that I get into? And so what I did, I was in this place of, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do these things that she wanted me to do. She's helping me learn. But I was in this, and I allowed myself to stay in that stuck place. Rather than reach out for resources, rather than reach out for help, I wanted to see, what is it that I am going to do? Because in the past, I really would have done this, and I would have stayed in that stuck place. So I just went with what I felt like doing, which was I laid down and I thought about, I don't know how to do this, and I felt stuck. And I allowed myself to stay feeling stuck. At the same time, there's another part of me that's observing, like, wow, isn't that interesting? What am I doing? Isn't this ridiculous? But I was doing it anyway. And really observing myself go into this, constricted, disbelieving, feeling bad about myself place. Realizing that this is where I used to live all the time. Like all the time, every day. I used to be in this stuck place. And I mostly don't do that anymore. So this was kind of an experiment to allow myself to go into this I don't know how place. I feel alone. I am stuck. If you are in a place like that, is it time? Is it your time to step out of that stuck box and start doing something different? Step out of that stuck box and reach out for help. Because I knew that any time I could do that. Say, hey, I need help with this. I don't know how to do this. And I'm going to employ some of those resources, some of those people to help me. But this was really an opportunity for me to look, what is this experience like? This experience of feeling alone, I don't know how. And feeling how unresourceful and stuck that was. But at the same time, observing myself being in this place. It was such a valuable experience, actually, to do that. And then this morning, when it was on Facebook, I was like, I just went and I did the things that, Alexis was telling me I need to do. Kind of just drip out. Hey, I'm going to have this masterclass. Is this something you might be interested in? And then in the Spotlight program with Suzanne Evans, which is why I'm doing this now, because this is an assignment to do lives for 10 days, it's going to give me an opportunity to talk about, hey, if you have these issues, come to my masterclass because we're going to talk about these things and help you find ways to get through it more easily. If there are times that happen where you feel alone, you feel stuck, is it time finally to do something different? Find a different path out of that old box. One of the things that I often have people do when they go into these places is think, how old do you feel? So for you now to think about a recent time where you felt, alone, I don't know how, feel stuck. How old does that feel? I know for me, I go back to being 6 or 4. Overwhelmed. Feeling like, I don't know, I'm helpless, I can't do this. That's where I was yesterday. I was 4. Feeling like there was responsibilities loaded on me that I don't know how to handle. And I allowed myself to just hang out there for a little while. Feeling how icky, how awful it feels to do that, to be in that place. So I want you to know that in my masterclass, we're going to talk about this. What happens when I go into these places? Keeps my mind from being able to think clearly. Prevents me from being able to come up with resourceful solutions, resourceful actions to take. I feel stressed and it impacts my body. All those things. We're going to talk about that in my masterclass and show you that there are ways that you can get through it. And that you don't have to do it all alone. Sometimes the way to get through to the other side is to ask for support, to reach out, to let somebody know, I am struggling with this, I don't know how. And actually pull in some of the resources. Because the truth is, you probably have a ton of resources available to you. Community, people who want to support you, who are there to support you. Probably you have people whom you have hired to support you, right? Because I know I have them. So think about this for yourself. I'm going to be doing lives here. This is the first of 10 days. So join me. Not sure what time they're going to be. Not going to be consistently the same time because my life is not going to make that available. But see what I have to say. This one is going to be 11 minutes long, but the others are going to be shorter. Up and down. We'll see what happens. Healers and coaches finally start making money when they stop marketing from strategy and start marketing from purpose. And I'll be talking more about that later. And again, if you're interested in this masterclass that I started hinting at, drop me a note and we'll get you connected up. I don't have the information ready for it yet, but it will be coming soon. I am Sandra Lee, intuitive sound and energy healer. And women healers and coaches hire me to grow their business because most are overwhelmed, scattered, and don't have enough clients. I help them identify opportunities for increasing their income fast, structure their business for sustainable growth, and tap into and enhance their intuition. Bottom line, they increase their income and impact, guaranteed. That's wonderful, isn't it? Change happens one action at a time. Doing one thing a little bit differently. Get yourself out of that stuck pattern. Is it your time? Thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow. Breathe.